Welcome to the Museum of Maritime Salvage. This exhibit is titled Salvaging Saturnina, where we'll be exploring the restoration of my 1948 salmon trawler, Saturnina.
Hello there, I'm Byron Fry and we're at my home here in Metchosin on southern Vancouver Island. Behind me is Saturnina, the wooden trawler I've been restoring for the last 6 years. I'm getting set up for another summer of work where we'll be placing much of the framing and planking in the aft sections of the boat surrounding the old cockpit and fish hold. Over the next month I'll be joined by a shipwright whom I've contracted to lead me through some of the work I'm less comfortable with. I'll be keeping you guys updated with clips and photos along the way, with a larger video to follow. I'm excited to share the rest of the journey with you. Thanks in advance for any and all encouragement sent my way. I hope you enjoy following along.
Now that the last of those defunct diesel tanks are out, I'm going to take them down to the Metchosin Community House and throw them in the scrap metal bin. May also have a poke around and see if there's anything worth salvaging.
This wood was all salvaged from the beach, some by myself, but most from a dear friend who left us last year. I learned to salvage logs with him after beginning my stewardship of Saturnina, and it was under his guidance that I begun this restoration. His influence on my life has been immeasurable, and you'll hear me referencing him throughout my work. Often when a log showed up in his bay, he'd proclaim that the wood had wanted to be a boat, and came to him for such purposes. He showed me that the soul of a tree lives on in the work we create with it, and this is what gives our work life. Cheers to Cosmo, the salvage master.
Saturnina was built by Withy Shipyards at Silva Bay on Gabriel Island. Commissioned by fisherman Reg Payne, who would go on to steward her for 30 years, she then found her way through a handful of fishermen and a towing and salvage outfit before finally undergoing a crude conversion to a cruising vessel. I first came across her in a bit of a sad state on the docks of the little logging town of Powell River. She came home with me in the spring of 2020 to Beecher Bay, near where I live on southern Vancouver Island. And after a few summers rambling around the coast on her, the wife got tired of pooping in the bucket, so I hauled her out here to our little garden plot off Rocky Point Road and got to work on a proper refit. A refresher for the old gal. Some love from tip to tail. If all goes well, she'll be outfitted with comfortable quarters for my wife and I and our 2 sons, while still retaining her workboat character. Saturnina will act as the headquarters for the newly founded Museum of Maritime Salvage. She will scoot around the coast, collecting the flotsam of history, and I suspect she'll be involved in a little bit of recreational log salvage, strictly for educational purposes, of course. Together, we will do our best to record the history of the people we meet and the places we travel. If this sounds like the kind of mischief you can get behind, subscribe to this channel, check out my Patreon where I'll be posting these videos, along with more regular updates, and where, if you so choose, you can support the restoration. Thank you for watching and enjoy the journey.